So it's the third Sunday in April. We're in southern Connecticut, and Susan and I are out for a little road bike trip. This is Susan's third ride on her bike on a road trip. Doing very, very well. One of the topics I wanted to talk about this morning is an item that you can purchase for your bike called an adjustable stem. An adjustable stem pretty much is what the name says. It's a stem that fits on your bike that allows you to adjust it for different angles. In other words, you can tilt it up or lower it down, for that matter, to either raise or lower the position of your handlebars. I did a video about the adjustable stem, about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, when I first got back into road biking, and when I first began riding again a little over a year ago. So I was having difficulty with neck pain, shoulder pain from riding in the position that you generally are on a bike, which is, you're leaning forward, and it's much different than riding a hybrid type of bike or any other bike where you're essentially sitting up in the saddle. So I thought by raising up my handlebars I could resolve a lot of my problems, and bought the adjustable stem, installed it on the bike myself, and adjusted the stem to have my handlebars really raised up quite a bit. And in fact, it did help me a lot with my riding position and my comfort level, but I did manage to kind of get myself in a little bit of trouble, because by raising the bars up so much, I literally was stretching my brake and my shift cables to the point where I was affecting how the bike was shifting, and to some degree how the bike was, how well the brakes were working, but more importantly the shifting was getting thrown off a bit. The only reason I discovered this is that I tried as much as I could to adjust my shifting using the derailleur adjustment, and just could not get it to consistently give me a smooth shift. So I took it to a local bike shop, and the very first thing they pointed out to me is that the adjustable stem was way too high, and that was pulling on the cables. Now, that's not to say that you can't use an adjustable stem and raise your handlebars up, but when you do that, be mindful that you are stretching your cables, and it may require you to go out and get to replace the cables with longer cables. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about moving to an adjustable stem. But the thing that really was a deterrent for me, or changed my notion about using an adjustable stem, is that the bike really changed in terms of handling characteristics. Became really squirrely running downhill fast. I mean, to the point where I was somewhat terrified at points, thinking that the bike was going to just shimmy out of control somewhere. So that was related to the fact that I had adjusted the handlebars so far out of position from what the bike was designed to handle. So ultimately I went back to putting the stem that came with the bike back on the bike. But so that solved my problem more than anything. But the real solution came about this year, when I actually had a bike fit, and I found that my handlebars were the handlebar position was too far forward for my flexibility and my size and all that sort of thing. And it was suggested to me that I might want to consider a new bike. But what I ended up doing was essentially just buying a very short stem, not an adjustable stem, a regular stem, and compact handlebars, which also had a tighter curve on them, which meant my hands were closer to my upper body, which helped a lot with my riding position. Yeah, so just to finish up with the adjustable stem, I think in the last video I said I didn't think it was a good idea to incorporate one of those guys on your bike, but I think if you use common sense about how you use it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Like I said, it does add a little weight to your bike if you're a weight weenie, but I think if you're going to spend your money, probably what you should do is look for a good quality stem that suits your specific needs in terms of the length and the angle that is incorporated in the stem. I ultimately ended up with a stem that is 60 mil, so it's on the short side, but it's perfect for me. It makes the bike work real well for me again. I think it actually shortened up the length or my reach to the handlebars, to the grips, probably by, gosh, I think it was 2 inches. So that's quite a bit between the new handlebars and the stem. But as they say, you live and you learn.